Hello, this is Berhane Selassie, the Orthodox Catholic one on YouTube, and today's video will be about the King James 1611 edition and its popishness. I was read into a group of Seventh-day Adventists the other day. They're very anti-Catholic, but very pro-King James Bible. They don't say KJV only, but they essentially imply it, insisting it's the best Bible, and all the other Bible editions are corrupted by the Catholic Church and are riddled with the fleas of popery because of manuscripts and so on. But let's check out some of the popish Romanism found in the King James 1611, as it is thoroughly logged full of it. First example is the calendar of February of the King James 1611, and here's a picture. You can click on it to make it bigger, or you could follow the link here to the actual website where they have actual Xerox or photocopies of the original King James 1611, as you can see right here. Let's flip over to show you that it is the KJV. Here's one of the first page in it too. Prince James, by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, France, Ireland, whatever. Anyway, now let's go to the calendar that I want to talk about. Here's the month of February, as it says right here. February hath 28 days. And then we see here there's some interesting holidays that it mentions. For instance, the Popish Holy Day of the Purification of Mary, aka Candlemas. This is on February 2nd. So right here, Candlemas, or Purification of Mary. February 2nd. The 2nd is right here. And you can go to that link and see it's under New Advent. And you could also see other popish holidays like the Feast of these Saints. Oh, look, you have Valentine's Day. February 14th, that popish holiday. You have that in this book. King James 1611, popish, very popish, very, very popish. Anyway, also under the Purification of Mary, it says to read WISD 9, and that's an old-fashioned S. Looks like an F, but it's an S. And also it says to read WISD XII 12. So read Wisdom 9 and Wisdom 12, which just happen to be popish books. A Catholic book that is omitted in modern editions of the King James 1611, but is actually found in the actual King James 1611 Bible. And also, if you go to the 24th, you'll see Wisdom 19. I'll go to one of these links later to prove it to you. But anyway, let's flip over to March. March exposes some even grander examples of Roman popery in the King James edition of the Bible. So let's flip over to March. And March hath 31 days and 30 moons. But anyway, there's some very fascinating ones. If you look right here, well, actually, I want to save that one for last. One of the names mentioned is Saint Edward, or just Edward. And Edward's right here, March 18th. Now, this Edward is actually Edward the Martyr, who's actually the King of England. He is a saint in the Romish Church. So he was probably canonized by the Pope of Rome. Ooh. Or at least recognized him. Anyway, March 18th is his traditional feast day. Also, you have the Romish Feast of the Annunciation. You have it on March 25th, which corresponds to December 25th for Christmas. Fascinating. So these people celebrated Christmas also. You can see the Feast of the Annunciation. It's kind of blurred. It's kind of faded, but you can zoom in if you really want to. What else we got here? Oh, the best one. Pope Gregory. As we see right here, it simply says Gregory. Gregory is Pope Gregory the Great. Pope Gregory the First. Saint Pope Gregory the First. He was Pope from 590 to 604. And so he reigned about 14 years. He was a very, very influential Pope. And he is listed on his feast day, March 12th. So it seems that this is some very blatant, unashamed popery going on here in this Romanish calendar of the King James edition of the Bible. Also, I forgot to mention, you have the founder of Western monasticism for Papists, Saint Benedict of Nursia. It's celebrated on March 21st, which is how some people celebrate it, but not everybody. Saint Benedict's right here, 21st. But anyway, there's lots of other popery going on in the calendars. You can check them out. You can check out the names and the books they tell you to read. Look, you have St. Ambrose. You can keep going through them, just checking out this stuff. Oh, you have the Apostle. Well, I guess that's not too. St. Augustine, oh, another papist. Taught original sin. Hey, wait, don't the Seventh-day Adventists reject that? Huh. But let's see. You have other names. Boniface. I'm pretty sure that was a pope. Then you have another Edward. It's probably the other King Edward. That was actually around 1050, the Pope. But anyway, so the King James edition of the Bible is replete with papist sentiment, papist allusions. Also, I forgot to go. Let's go back to the Book of Wisdom just to prove wisdom is there in the King James Bible. Let's check it out. It says Apocrypha, chapter 9, and this is the Book of Wisdom. You can even look up right here. It says Wisdom. Let's actually go to the first page just to show you. Look at that. The Wisdom of Solomon. And you have all the other books here. Most of which are in the Catholic canon except for this one. Except for, I'm not sure about the Ezra-Edras, because those are sometimes classified different. But that's pretty papist. And then you can even see the canon. It says books called Apocrypha. It doesn't say books that are Apocrypha. It just says they're called that. It, in fact, tells the reader to read these books in the calendar that I just showed you. So anyway, what's the point in all this? It's simple. It's that the King James Bible is not reliable because it's a work of papists. This and many more show the Catholic influence of the King James Bible 1611, and a good Seventh-day Adventist or good Baptist should either reject this so-called translation for its obvious influence by popery, or become a miserable papist himself, as it must be asked. Also, it must be asked if Adventists and Baptists insist in the King James 1611 Bible that it's perfect because of its pure manuscripts and the Textus Receptus from the pure Antiochian line, then why is it that no Adventist or no Baptist makes a modern-day updated version of the text into English? Or at least, why don't they all agree on it? Rather than spend all this time and effort on this older English Bible. This old, like a lot of the words, it's kind of hard to understand. But it's, oh no, you have to learn it. Yeah, that'll help your evangelization. Talking to them in Old English, or actually Middle English or whatever. But then they'll say, oh, the NKJV is corrupt because they change a few words around. So I guess that won't work either. Or it could be that no Baptist or Adventist is actually qualified to do such a thing as translation. Or maybe they just don't trust their own people. Who knows? Anyway, this is Brother Haines Selassie, the Orthodox Catholic, a.k.a. the Papist.